Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RT. This time to English new edition for tonight. Headlines: we have the signing of archaeological convention between Djibouti and France. For the international scene, Joe Biden aims to vaccinate 70% of adults by 4 July. Welcome to our newsroom. Within the framework of the ties of friendship and fraternity that unite the Republic of Djibouti and the Kingdom of Morocco, and in accordance with the will of both countries to further strengthen their cooperation relations, the Minister of Foreign Affairs International Cooperation Government spokesman Mahmoud Ali Yusuf and his Moroccan counterpart Nasser Bourita, Minister of Foreign Affairs, African Cooperation and Moroccan residing abroad, held on 4 May 2021 a video conference. The two ministers held talks during which they welcomed the excellent ties of friendship and solidarity existing between the two brotherly countries and praised the quality of the feelings of esteem and respect that characterize the relations between their head of state, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, President of the Republic of Djibouti, and his brother, His Majesty Mohammed VI, King of Morocco. The Minister of National Education Vocational Training, Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, participated today in a virtual meeting of ALESCO, which has exclusively chosen the Classera platforms in its distance education and e-learning missions. The panelists from ALESCO member countries unanimously praised the technological advantage of the Classera platform developed by the computer giant Hewlett Packard, which thus signs its first entry into the educational technologies and e-learning. It should be noted that the Republic of Djibouti was one of the first countries to have chosen to use the Classera platform to provide distance learning during the containment period following the COVID-19 crisis. In a brief intervention, the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, first expressed his sincere thanks for the support of ALESCO and Classera, which is the first project of its kind, Classera in terms of a comprehensive learning management system. The Minister of Higher Education and Research, Dr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed, presided this morning in his office the signing of the convention which marks the framework of the partnership between Djibouti and France in the field of archaeological research, and that of the launching of this essential, magnificent work that is the book, that landscape and man Lekabe Basin, since the first man who lived there. The ceremony was attended by the French ambassador to Djibouti, Arnaud Guillois, the Director General of CERD, Jaluddin Mohamed, the Director of IRA, Salah Zakaria, and the CNRS researcher and head of the Franco-Djiboutian Archaeological Mission, Jessie Collier, and Xavier Guterres, Professor Emeritus at the University of Montpellier. The signing of a convention that binds the CERD and IRA for at least 4 years with the French Embassy and the French Research and Teaching Institution that are the CNRS and the University of Toulouse. The framework given by this agreement guarantees our collaboration in the best conditions. The Minister of Higher Education and Research, Dr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed, said that the convention, which marks the framework of the partnership between Djibouti and France in the field of archaeological research, and that of the launching of this essential, magnificent work that is the book, Landscape and Man, Lekabe Basin, since the first man who lived there. The People's Palace hosted on Wednesday, 5 May meeting during which the Minister of Energy and Charges of Natural Resources, Yoris Ali Gedi, assisted by his close collaborators, reviewed the progress of the constructions of the 60 megawatt wind project of Gubet with all stakeholders, namely the representative on the grounds of the company, Red Sea Power, Siemens, Gamesa Wind Towers, Arcade Civil Engineering, IEE Power, Electricity, and finally EDD. It should be noted that the senior officials of these companies intervened by video conference from their headquarters abroad, in particular Mr. Osaruka, the head of the project from company Red Sea Power. The officials of the two parties mainly discussed and exchanged views and means to remedy the delay due to COVID-19 and the recent bad weather. The Minister of Energy in charge of natural resources, Yonis Ali Gedi, declared himself globally satisfied with what has been achieved so far, congratulating the representative for their seriousness, considering that the progress of the project is rather satisfactory as for the final outcome and that the few difficulties observed here and there are in the end of minimal. A consultation workshop on the design of the energy efficiency project in public buildings in the Republic of Djibouti took place this morning at the People's Palace. Chaired by the director of the Djibouti Agency for Energy Management, Ms. Saida Omar Abdullahi, the workshop was attended by various ministerial sectors such as finance, environment, and others. The objective of this workshop was to discuss the design of the public buildings project that ADME had initiated with the French Agency for Development. A brief presentation was made by the AFD experts on the modality of and identification of the location of public building. The overall objective is the reduction of energy consumption, 15% reductions of consumption, or 3.9 megawatt per year. The director of the Djibouti Agency for Energy Management, Saida Omar Abdullahi, recalled that this project will be implemented by the end of the year and the work and activity will begin in 2022. An important meeting on the fight against COVID-19 in our country was held at the Ministry of Health under the chairmanship of the Secretary General of Health, Dr. Saleh Benoita Turab, and the President of the National Commission for the Introductions of Vaccine, Dr. Ahmed Roble, in the presence of the member of Scientific Commission for the Fight Against COVID-19, doctors from the capital and interior regions, and media professionals. The objective of the meeting was to put in place a new strategy to respond effectively to the pandemic on ways and means of improving care and vaccination. Objective of the meeting was to put in place a new strategy to respond effectively to the pandemic on ways and means to improve care and vaccination. Implementation of a communication strategy involving doctors to raise awareness of the importance of barrier measures and vaccination, which are currently the only two remedies to defeat the COVID-19 virus. Awareness campaign will be reinforced in the interventions of health professionals on several media such as radio and television. The U.S. Embassy in Djibouti, through civil affairs at Camp Lemonnier, delivered essential medical equipment to the Ministry of Health to support the government of Djibouti's response to the fight against COVID-19. The ceremony was attended by the Secretary General of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Saleh Benoita Turab, U.S. Ambassador Jonathan Pratt, USAID Representative Leo Jackson, and the heads of civil affairs of Camp Lemonnier, as well as the various officials of the Ministry of Health. For his part, the American ambassador to Djibouti, Jonathan Pratt, handed over the sublist and reiterated the willingness of American government to partner with Djibouti in the fight and prevention of COVID-19. U.S. Military forces stationed at Camp Lemonnier facilitated the purchase and transfer of the supplies. The donation receptions was chaired by the Secretary General Dr. Salah Benoita Turab. For his part, Dr. Salah Benoita Turab recalled the important relationship between the Republic of Djibouti and the United States for a long time and thanked American people for these important donations of medical equipment. The Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Djibouti to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, His Excellency Diaidin Said Bamakrama, was received on Tuesday, May 4, 2021 by the CEO of the Saudi Development Fund, His Excellency Mr. Sultan Al-Murshid, who was surrounded by his collaborators to discuss the close fraternal relations between the two brotherly countries, as well as the important projects financed by the Saudi Fund in the Republic of Djibouti, noting that the Saudi Fund for Development has carried out many projects since Djibouti's independence in various social-economic fields. The ambassador was accompanied during this meeting by Mr. Elmi Hassan, the counselor at the embassy. In the framework of the civil-military actions, the SOS Children's Village received from the Spanish Army an important batch of toys and school clothes in order to establish a more secure cooperation for more promoting impulse. These donations will contribute to the success of the policy put in place by this honorable institution to bring a changes in the life of young people who have dropped out of schools and orphanages in order to help them take their future into their own hands. The event was attended by the General Directors of SOS Village, Mr. Omar Dileita, the Spanish contingent led by Captain Anglais. For the international scene, U.S. President Joe Biden on Tuesday set a new goal for COVID-19 vaccinations in the United States. At least one shot for 70% of adults by the July 4 bank holidays. Speaking from the White House, Joe Biden also announced a goal of 160 million fully vaccinated Americans by the same date, according to the U.S. executive branch. Out of the country 328 million population, reaching these goals will significantly change the way the light at the end of the tunnel is getting stronger and stronger, he said. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.